There is bitter leaf soup and there is a special bitter leaf soup. This bitter leaf soup made with okra and egusi from the heart of Akwa Ibom State is undoubtedly one of the best Nigerian soups ever.
Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Didi Ekanem. I'm always happy to have you here. I don't know about you. If you're new to this channel, you are welcome in the name of the Lord. You are welcome in the name of the Lord. I can see you, the glory of the Lord. You are welcome in the name of the Lord. Grab a seat and let me take you on a food adventure. And if you're here to join us, I don't know what you're waiting for. It is fun here. Why not click on the subscribe button and become a part of our growing family? Today's recipe is one I am excited about because it is not common in most Nigerian kitchens. So I am super happy to be showing you guys this recipe. You can even add this soup to your Christmas menu. I mean, don't you get tired of eating rice? From January to December, you've been eating rice. You must not host your visitors this December with rice. Try this soup. Your children will love it, your visitors will love it, and even your husband will love it. Today we are going to make bitter leaf soup with okra and egusi. It is such a special soup. That is why I said it is not common in most Nigerian homes. So without further ado, come over, let me show you guys the ingredients we are going to be using for our special soup. So these are the ingredients we are going to be using for our special bitter leaf soup. Over here is Titus fish. Titus fish is an important ingredient for this special bitter leaf soup, but you can skip it if you're not a Titus fish fan. You can use ordinary dried fish. This is the chief of the soup, which is the bitter leaf. I'm going to be using towel meat as protein of choice. You can use any protein of your choice. You can use goat meat, beef, and you can even use chicken, but not turkey because you're making soup. And over here is onions. We are going to be using shelled periwinkles. Shelled periwinkles is very important for this special bitter leaf soup. We have ground crayfish. We are using seasoning cubes. This is egusi. We are using stockfish. I'm using the stockfish head. We are using fresh pepper. And of course, this is also the star of the soup, which is okra. And that's pretty much it for our special bitter leaf soup. You can decide to add as many things as you want when you're making yours, but I like to keep it simple with my recipes. Okay, now let's get into the cooking.
So let's start by cooking our protein. We are going to use seasoning cubes, fresh pepper and onions, but if you like to use more spices to cook your protein, by all means, as long as it is sweet in your mouth, because who am I to tell you what to use and cook your meat and how to cook it? Can you imagine? Who am I? Towel meat doesn't have juice, so you're going to add water to it, cover the pot and allow it to cook till it is tender for about 45 minutes to 1 hour. Yes, it's going to take that long and even more. So if you have a pressure cooker in your house, go ahead and use it to avoid wasting time. Our towel meat is tender and it is time to add our Titus fish. After adding our Titus fish, we are going to boil it for about 15 to 20 minutes and we are going to monitor it because we do not want our Titus fish to scatter. I don't know how long it takes for Titus fish to cook until it is done. So if you're not good with timing, you have to monitor your Titus fish because you do not want them to scatter. Also, using Titus fish to make this soup is very important, even though I know some people don't like Titus fish. So, if you belong to that group of people that don't like Titus fish, let me advise you. It is better you don't make this soup, because if you do, you might not really get the real taste of the soup. The Titus fish flavor adds to the general flavor of the soup. I remember growing up in the village, we used to look forward to this soup every Sunday as my auntie used to make it. And the reason was because of the Titus fish flavor. Has anyone noticed that Titus fish in the village is totally different from Titus fish in the city? The one in the city barely tastes like Titus fish.
So while the protein is cooking, let's have a little chat, guys. I don't know how you found this channel. If you found this channel by YouTube suggestion, YouTube search, or you're coming from an external app, which is Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're here. And since you're here, it means that you and I are now family members. Yes, you are now my new family member. You know what family members do? They support each other. They show each other love. By support, I mean, as my family member, you should subscribe to my channel, like my videos, comment on my videos, share my videos to others so that we can have more family members. Doesn't that sound cool? It does. So I would like to say that as a new member of my family, if you have any food that you have been struggling with, that you have been trying to make but it doesn't always come out well, and you would want me to show you how to make it, do well to leave a comment below and I will take it off from there, okay?
So at this point, our Titus fish is ready, and we are going to take them out gently so that they don't scatter, and then proceed with the main cooking. So we are going to start by adding more water to the pot, just the right amount of water that we need for the soup. And then we are going to go in with our ground crayfish, add as much crayfish as possible, and then go in with our stockfish head. You can use the ear, you can use the body of the stockfish, whichever one is okay. And then give that a good stir, cover the pot and allow it to simmer for about 10 minutes, and then go in with our egusi. Egusi is melon. For those of you in diaspora, if you're watching from UK, America, Canada, shout out to you. You are the real MVP. So we are going to cover the pot and allow it to simmer on low heat for about 10 minutes while we go ahead and prepare our okra. So we are going to chop the okra. You divide the okra into four parts, yes, into 4 parts, because you don't want the okra to be big in sizes and you don't want them to also be small in sizes. So now we are going to stir and incorporate the egusi with the rest of the ingredients before adding palm oil. The reason why you have to allow the egusi to cook for about 5 to 10 minutes on low heat before stirring it is so that it can rise and have lumps. And while stirring it, make sure to do it gently because you do not want the lumps to vanish. It's time to add our palm oil. Please make sure to use a good palm oil for this soup. Palm oil can make and break your soup. If you use a good palm oil for your soup, it will elevate the taste of your soup without you having to do too much, without using too much ingredients for the soup. But if you use a bad palm oil, it will make the taste of your soup to be really, really horrible. So after adding the shelled periwinkles to the soup, you're going to cover the pot and allow it to simmer for about 5 minutes. Yes, before stirring it. Now, growing up in the village, I used to see my mom, my aunties, my grandma, after adding shelled periwinkles to their soup, they won't stir it. And I kept wondering why. So one day I asked my grandma, how come you don't stir your soup after adding shelled periwinkles? She said, you're just not supposed to stir it. And I kept wondering, is there anything bad that will happen to the soup if you stir the soup after adding shelled periwinkles? So one day I decided to try it. I added shelled periwinkles to my soup and I stirred it. There wasn't anything significant that happened. You know, it was just normal. I guess it was just tradition. And because I like the traditional way of cooking, so I decided to keep doing it, every time I use shelled periwinkles. So at this point, we are adding our washed bitter leaf. Make sure that you buy fresh bitter leaf from the market and wash it by yourself. It is always advisable. After adding the bitter leaf, you're going to stir and combine with the rest of the ingredients. See, this soup is one soup that if you know how to make it very well, you will always want to eat it. It is one delicious soup. I can beat my hand on my chest to say that this soup is really, really tasty. It's one soup that I know that if you know how to make it very well, you will really, really enjoy it. So it is time to add our chopped okra. We are going to add it in bits because we do not want the okra to overpower the soup. We don't want the okra to be too much. We just want a little amount of it. So after adding the okra, go ahead and stir to combine with the rest of the ingredients. At this point, the soup is almost ready because after adding this okra, you're going to just cover the pot and allow it simmer for about 1 minute. Okra is vegetable, so you don't want to cook it for a long time. At this point, the texture of the soup looks good and the consistency also looks good. It is neither too thick nor loose. But if it's thick, you can always add water to loosen it up. So we're adding more crayfish, and then we are going to go ahead and add our chopped yellow pepper to seal up the taste of the soup. The flavor of the yellow pepper does wonders to the soup. You can also use habanero pepper, but don't pound it. Just chop the peppers and put in the soup. It will further elevate the texture of the soup, just like you're seeing in this video. Now it is time to bring back our Titus fish. So we're going to be putting the Titus fish back into the pot of soup one by one. As you can see, the Titus fish is not scattered, which looks really, really good. So fam, if you have watched this video up to this point, it means that you love me and I love you too. You're the real MVP, so shout out to you. But please do not leave without subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing our videos, just engaging in our posts in order to grow this channel. I would really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much for stopping by. Bless you. You will never lack data for the rest of your life in the mighty name of Jesus. At this point, our delicious special bitter leaf soup is ready and we are serving it with hot eba. Fam, look at that soup. Are you not salivating? Let me know in the comment section if you're going to try this recipe. I would really like to encourage you to try it, especially if you're hosting visitors this Christmas and visitors coming in from abroad. They're tired of eating fried rice, jollof rice. They make it over there. Give them something different, something really, really local like this, and they will really, really love it. Bye guys. See you in my next video.